Okay, welcome to the Freedom Hustles podcast. This is episode 14. My name's Andy Lehman. I am the owner of Freedom Skills Academy, and today I'm with...
Hello, John Banks again, sideincommand.com.
Yep. So how are you doing, John?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Just talking just before we come on air then, weren't we, about tier 3 near you. Obviously, for those that are listening outside of the UK, we've gone in, we've got like a little lockdown system that's started. So they've sort of tried to make it regional now. Yeah, and it's all getting a bit interesting. But anyway.
Yeah, it's I'm quite fortunate. I'm just outside tier 3, but in the sticks. But
yeah,
you know, it's
we are at the moment. We're okay at the moment, but yeah,
it's a strange old world. So today what we're going to be talking about today, John.
So today we're going to be talking about the sort of dark and sort of world of MLM, which is multi-level marketing, and the risks involved, the pitfalls, and perhaps the sort of way people can be easily lured into what usually is a bit of a false sell. So yeah, we're going to be talking a bit about that.
Also known as sort of network marketing.
Yeah,
they've kind of trying to change their angle and the way it's perceived in many ways, but it's still pretty much the same thing, where you have to employ a team below you, a downline, try and get people below you to buy certain products off you, as opposed to just going to the shop and buying whatever you want from a different shop. You have to buy things through your downline, and it's had a lot of bad press just recently, which I think is quite deserving in many ways. A lot of it, interestingly, a lot of this multi-level marketing came out of the Mormon area of America. I think it's Utah, around there. There's very, very big Mormon sort of industry behind them. I'm not sure if it was America, was it Amway or something like that? But
Amway, yeah, no, I remember that. That was big over here as well in the UK, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of like the start.
£25 for a tube of toothpaste sort of thing, but yeah.
Yeah, so you always had to buy certain products through them and through the person above you, and then you had to try and get somebody else in below you to buy the stuff through you. And it's not all it's cracked up to be, because a lot of it is marketed and sold as in the fact that you probably, let's say you pay $97 or £97 a month, but then you get 5 people to join your team, and then they pay £97 a month, and you get like £40 or something of that. So you get it from them 5, then your quid's in, and then they get 5 people, and then you get like £20 off there, and so it all filters upwards.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the only true winner of those kind of businesses really are the people who sit at the top and create it, for many ways in one. I remember a big internet marketer got a huge check for promoting it, but that was because he was approached at the beginning, and so he was able to set up a website, an affiliate website, using all the search terms and everything, and got in at the beginning, and he also had a big email list and everything like that. And then, so as soon as this was kind of launched, people go to Google and try and sidestep stuff and go searching and find reviews and stuff like that. And he used to filter them in that way. But unless you're there at the beginning or at the top, you're kind of buggered, really, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my experience from the whole thing. I'll share a couple of little stories here of ones that I've actually participated in a few during my sort of early years of entering into the online world. But first of all, I had a blog. This was years back when I had my own blog. It was a long time, maybe 10, 12 years ago, and I wrote a piece about a company called the Empower Network, which by all accounts, that we should point out that people do make money out of these. There are people that do make a lot of money out of this, but as you mentioned, it tends to be the very early starters, the very early trendsetters, because sadly all they're doing is, taking money from everyone else, and then the whole thing filters down. Like you say, you've got a downline, you've got to recruit. Often the product is nothing or not actually that good at all. It'll be something that isn't perhaps that good. The product is often a smokescreen for what the whole thing actually is, which is basically just a recruitment platform to try and get other people in your downline or team. So that was one. Another one I done was it was called Banner's Broker, and they sold this on the premise that you were buying sort of advertising space. So it looked legit. Like you would basically invest your $300 or something, and let's say 250 of it would go into invest in these advertising networks all over the internet, which would then start making you money. The $50 would be your sort of admin fee or something that they would use. They wouldn't tell you exactly what it was for. And obviously that disappeared. That would go to the people above. The $250 used for ads would go away, but then you would slowly start to make it back. And you might see after 3 months, you get like, I don't know, 210 of it back or something like that. So you're still down, but then eventually after 6 months, you might start making a bit. And then if you're lucky, you can withdraw your initial stake, and then the rest of it's fine. But if you're lucky, if you get in at the right time, it's simple as that. I mean, I never recruited these actively. I never pushed them, because I would always ask, can I see my ads? And no one would be able to tell me that. Oh, no, you don't need to worry about that. And I was always a bit, well, hang on a minute. I'm paying for these ads and I can't even see them, and it sort of, the alarm bell started ringing then. There was another one that I'd done a few years back. I mean, I was lucky enough. I did make a few quid out of it. So I got my seed out and it was fine. But then one morning, like you say, I got up, checking the balance, and everything has gone. The website's gone. They had an exit plan. And all those people that got in after me would have made nothing. They'd just lost. I went in very, very low, very low. There were people, you could buy like $20,000 packages, and all them people would have pretty much just lost all their money. So, that for me was a kind of, that's it. That's the alarm bell. The two things that sprung to mind were, one, it was referral only. So you couldn't just join, you had to be recruited. That's an alarm bell. And another one was, you couldn't actually see, or the product itself wasn't actually anything. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't anything there.
Yeah, I actually remember where I used to work previously. I think we tried the banner brokers, whatever you called it.
Yeah.
I do remember several discussions about that, and I do remember quite a few people were struggling to get the monies out of it, and they couldn't get in the dashboards properly, and
yeah,
there was all sorts of things. I mean, I joined one not realizing it was actually a multi-level marketing or a network. It was sold as an education platform teaching you internet marketing, and they sold it as in the fact that you could earn your income, your monthly expenditure back by getting other people. It was like they sold it as an affiliate program. And suppose in some ways it was. However, everything was geared around you selling their products.
Yeah.
And again, I used to look, and you get the website like the Empowered Network. You would get a website in their network, and it would always be their images and their graphics. And you would they'd even give you articles to share and stuff like that, and you'll go on social media. And I used to just keep thinking to myself, once you go online and start sharing somebody else's brand name, what they're going to do is they're going to Google it, and then they're going to go direct to the actual Six-Figure Mentor's main website. And then if they join through that main website, obviously the person who's at the top, that's going to become part of his downline.
Yeah, so but he's making money anyway, because he gets it from the referrals and also the direct ones.
Well, basically, all you're doing is you're doing their advertising for them, spreading the word for them on the promise that, or the opportunity of possibly earning your money back. But basically, you're just vocalizing and sharing their business for them, and they're not having to pay out for the advertising.
I just find it it really does annoy me. I'll be honest with you. It really does annoy me, because it is such a, I mean, like you say, we're not. Some people make money out of it. That's not even an issue. That it happens, you know. And good luck to them. That's fine. But it's such a dark missell, isn't it? It's wrong, you know,
Yeah,
because you're not actually buying, you know, anything. In often there's nothing there. There was another classic one where I met a guy a few years back, and we were talking about. So I think it was down the pub, and he was trying to get me in on this Forex plan. And it was, oh yeah, it's brilliant. It's a bot. It does it all for you. You'll be fine. You know, you make your money back no end. And I looked into it and I thought that again, you can't see any of the trades. So for those that don't know, Forex is, you know, trading on the sort of currency exchanges. And this is hard to do, right? And for this, it was easy. Don't worry about it. You can't see any of your trades. It was $1,000 buy-in minimum, and you had to go through a referral link. And I gave him all the warning signs. I said, it's not going to, it'll end bad. This will end bad. No, it'll be fine. And I hope he got his money back. I don't think I've seen him since then, but yeah, and like you say, it's that missell, isn't it? So why do you think, you know, why do you think people get lured into this?
because it's the promise of making your seed money back ASAP. I mean,
Exactly.
a few years ago, probably last year actually, or 2018, there was a documentary on BBC Three, and it was a young woman called Ellie Flynn. She went undercover and she went to infiltrate a couple of these. It was New Skin and Unique, or something like that. Let me just check that quickly. New Skin and Unique.
Beauty products, aren't
And
they?
these
Yeah.
are beautiful beauty products. They were being people on Instagram were sort of the influencers were saying, yeah, I make this and
Yeah.
that. And she did this in undercover sort of in what's the word, investigation.
Yeah.
And she interviewed over 100 women, and she found that not one of them made any money selling the
Yeah.
products.
No.
And what they would do is they would pay a monthly fee, and then they would have to buy the products or pay so much for the product, and then they would get brochures and marketing material. They'd have to pay for that as well.
Yeah,
And it
it's
would be
always an
like,
upsell, isn't there? Yeah.
yeah, there's always these upsells. And then the next thing was that when you actually look into it, the main focus for them was not necessarily selling the beauty products, but was to sell the seminars that they would have at like
Yeah.
£45 a pop.
God.
So
Yeah.
they would have these mastermind, motivational, empowering big
Yeah.
gatherings,
People
and
go
that was
crazy
more.
for it, don't they?
It
Yeah.
was more money into the pot. And like I say, she looked into it, and the MLM industry in the UK is worth a staggering £2 billion, with over 400,000 people in the UK are currently
Oh,
registered.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you
I
go to
wonder
their
how many of them
websites,
are. Yeah. I
sorry.
wonder how many of that 400. What percent of that 400,000 made a sort of significant profits? And you know.
Well, by law, they have to put down, I don't know if this is a UK law or American law, but by law, they have to put down in their sort of terms and conditions or something. And if you actually go searching for it, it is very, very minute amount of people who actually generate money through these
Yeah.
networks.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, like you said about doing the seminars and that. I remember that one of the, like you say, when I was a bit sort of young and naive, and I, you know, went and got involved in one, and you know, that would be the constant thing. It was always the upsell. It was always the upsell. You know, if you went in on the basic level, it was, or they would always push you for the next thing. Oh, you need this now to make, you know, you have to have this. And, you know, like you say, and it was half the time, it was like these sort of, you know, it could be like £1,000 for like a 2-day seminar, you know, in some, I don't know, function somewhere. And all it was a load of people speaking and just building themselves up. And, you know, you always felt like it was a bit sort of cult-like in a way. Do you know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
Obsessed with it. And if anyone downplayed them or told them, you know, you should be a bit careful with this, and you'd get like this animosity towards you. No, you don't know what you're talking about. And it splits families up. People try and recruit their own grandmother. Do you know what I mean? Just to get them on their downline, and all the morals go out the window, I find, with them. I mean, again, I'm generalizing, but that's kind of what I sort of felt about it. Do you know what I mean? It just.
Well, you are right. It's very much like the evangelical movement of the sort of 1960s and 70s, where they used to, you know, fill out stadiums and you have some preacher there talking. So these seminars would be, because they do low-level seminars, like local areas, and have someone talking, but then there'll be the bigger ones. But basically, what she found out when she was studying this was that the actual product basically became second to the
Yeah.
selling of, there was a
Yeah.
recruitment drive and then getting them to these seminars. And you
Yeah.
go on YouTube, because I was always used to be a big fan of the self-improvement movement, which is about, you know, mindset and stuff like that. And a lot of these seminars used to pay people like Bob Proctor to go there and stand there, and they would talk about, you know, marketing and this, that, and the other. And it had nothing to do really with the product. It was just, that was the product. So they would get them there, they'd pay the hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to sit and listen to Bob Proctor, who would then probably sell them his own product, give it a bit of a bonus, you know, a bit of a discount. So they'd be on the stage doing all this wonderful talking, and everyone's in the crowd, and you'd see them wahooing and cheering, all this lot,
They go mad, don't they? Absolutely
thinking they're
mad.
part of this big family, and that they're going to make millions out of this. But the fact is, the people who are making millions is the guy behind there who's organised the seminar, knowing in fact that there's thousands of people pay thousands of dollars to hear Bob Proctor, which you can hear elsewhere.
Pushing his own product, yeah, exactly.
Pushing his own product, and it's I mean, don't get me wrong, you can, you know, with the six-figure mentors or other stuff, you can learn some things like email marketing, and you can learn. So it depends on what you're in. I mean, the beauty secrets, the beauty products ones, I know that they didn't really learn anything. They, you know, everything was a cost to them, and it was just get more people into the business.
I remember the Amway one was very much a, I don't know if they're still going, but that one was a bit. They would really, really encourage you to buy all their own products all the time. So like all your day-to-day stuff around the house, they really push you to buy the Amway stuff, and it was just so ridiculously expensive. You know, obviously they've got to take a cut, then you got to pay the downlines, and then you got and all this, and it was just, and they would always push you on the tape sets, which are like these motivational speakers and stuff like that. And you had to go to these sort of seminars, and if anyone got, I think, went up a rank or up a tier, they went up on stage, and it was all this big sort of show to make the little people that aren't making any money try and aspire to get like that. And like, if you do the math on a lot of these things, you know, if you just do the basic math, they can't, you know, they can't carry on half of them. I'm again, I haven't got the exact figures in my head, but you know, I would assume that a lot of these ones that start up, they don't last that long, because especially the kind of online ones, you know, because you know they've got the luxury of being able to hide a bit more, haven't they? You know, they've got this. You only got to look at some of it. You know, like, I don't know, the office is registered in Panama, right? There's no email address. There's no phone number. Do you know what I mean? That to me immediately is alarm bells. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, like you say, you can't actually see any product. There's nothing really there. All you're seeing is these nice. They've employed someone to make this nice looking fancy dashboard, which is easy to understand and looks really good and really exciting. Maybe these green progress bars and stuff like this. But if you actually ask them, where is the money that I gave you last month? What's it doing at the moment? No one will be able to tell you. Well, they would, but they wouldn't want you to know.
Yeah, I mean, with the one that I joined many, many moons ago, to me, I knew what I was paying for, because it was just access to the membership and the education material. You know? So it kind of, I was paying for a service, so to speak, but I wasn't, because everything else you could learn elsewhere. You got their website, which again, if you create your own business, if you create your own website, it's yours. But if you go into one of these where you're paying and they are build you the website as part of our six-figure mentors or whatever it is, if you're part of that, and it's not a standalone website, and you fill it full of their content with their graphics and banners, you pull out, then you've got nothing to show. Nothing to show.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I use a company, I won't say the name, but I use a company that does so for my email marketing company, the company I use to collect, my leads and all that, I use a company like that, and they've got a ton of really good products which I use, and they are really good. Okay, and obviously for that I pay a monthly fee, like you do with any
Yeah.
online service, right? You pay a monthly fee for the product. Now, they've got two sort of strings to their company, one of which is they provide these products that people want to use, especially marketers like me and other people. And also they do have a kind of business model which you can refer people in and things like that. I don't do any of that because I use the products and I use them because I like them and they're good and they're worth the money. So for that, that's fine. And I don't mind that. If they want to push the kind of promote this as an affiliate, we'll pay you every month, because I don't mind that, because there is a tangible product there that you can use. Do you know what I mean? And you can see it and it has value. It's the ones that don't, there isn't anything there, and the whole thing is about promotion, push it, get people under you, and this, that, and the other. They're the ones I'll be a bit wary of.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's normal business practice. It's like a recommendation, and it's an affiliation. Everybody does in every industry has that kind of opportunity within them. And I mean, people even try and argue the fact, these pyramid schemes, everything's a pyramid, from the prime minister down to the politicians, down to civil servants. There is a pyramidal effect in everything. We know that. But there's a big difference between creating a business where, as you say, your main focus, even though even the makeup ones, there is some products there, but your main focus really, if you look into it, is to build the downline and get people in, paying. Because they're not really interested, no matter what they say, they're not interested in selling mascara or skin creams. They're more interested in selling the monthly membership and then having to sell the marketing material and then getting them in the seminars. That is the business. If they've just put a product around it to get them in, they'll move from one thing to another. And like I say, a lot of them come from around the Mormon area, the Mormon belt in America, which is kind of like, it's like you said about a religious thing. They're well trained in the evangelical sort of preaching and big organizations. It's definitely something I would recommend avoiding.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think, as you mentioned, then you briefly touched on it, I think, if people open their eyes, you will see that you could argue that the whole world is one sort of giant Ponzi scheme, but we don't want to get too deep on that. I mean, that's probably a subject.
I mean, that's one of the arguments that they use to try and explain it as a pyramid.
Yeah, they do, don't
to
they?
defend it. But I mean, nature is a pyramid. There's pyramids in life, but that doesn't excuse the fact that they are just basically building a way to filter money to the top.
Yeah, it doesn't get your grandma and on the downline and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a British company. They've been around for years, and virtually, I suppose every woman has been a representative for them every now and again. But they sell makeup to their to their friends and their family, and people use it. But they don't forever keep trying to get them to become a member. No. They become the rep. They sell the stuff. That's what you expect. Completely different with these. They become a rep, and they try and sell you the stuff, and then they try and, like you say, talk you into becoming. If you become a member, I get my money back. Yeah. But then you'll earn some, and then you get somebody else in it. Yeah. And eventually, you think, if everybody did that, there'd be nobody to sell to.
No, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so that's to conclude then. So what would you say are? Well, let's try and see if we can maybe wrap up with some ways in which people, some sort of alarm bells, if you like, that people could look out for if they ever come across these. Because no doubt, if you're in the online world, you are going to eventually, you'll get an email or someone will recommend one of these things to you. But what would you say are like the sort of some key alarm bells that people look out for?
Personally, I mean, I think there's a difference between network marketing and affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, you can sell a product to loads of people and get a commission. If you see a network where they basically say you pay us £90 a month, and then if you recruit 2 or 3 people, if they use the word recruit, you get 2 or 3 people to earn your money back, and then if they talk about like downlines or teams, then I would probably steer clear. Because also the other thing is, if you do your research and look, if they mention anything about doing like monthly sort of motivational gatherings and tickets and stuff like that, and that becomes the more focus than the actual product itself, just avoid them. Anything that doesn't allow you to build a business where you can sell and promote your own things from your own website, You know, just stay
I
clear.
mean, yeah, I think I'd probably just sort of touch on that a little bit further. Would be just look at if it's recruitment only, that's an alarm bell for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we mentioned, if there's any mention of things like downlines and team building, and then the other one would be ask for some results or ask for some evidence of what, not necessarily results because they can easily manipulate that, but ask for what the product is and can you actually see it, because a lot of these online ones you'll find there isn't actually anything there. So yeah, that would be my sort of conclusion and summary. We got anything else to add?
Just basically, like you say, if you have to pay for your marketing materials, because generally all the companies, they give that away for free if you're if you work for them, because the whole purpose is that you're getting them trade. I mean, it's sometimes you can pay. I don't know, but basically, like I say, the ones that was in that interview, that investigation, they were paying thousands before they even got the chance to sell a product.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's crazy.
yeah, you don't. Because my old man used to be a corner shop owner. We used to be a shopkeeper. I grew up in a corner shop, and when you went to the cash and carry, you used to get posters and free advertising material by the suppliers.
Yeah.
They wanted to do as much as they can to get people to buy their products. And so if you go to a company which are basically going to charge you X amount, like £100 to get 100 brochures or something to give out to your friend, and it's like, well,
yeah.
I'm obviously the commodity. I'm the customer, aren't I? Not the other people.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, yeah, a little bit different tonight. Hopefully, it's a subject that some people are familiar with. If you've got any questions with that, or even if you've had experiences of anything we've talked about, good or bad, we'd like to hear about it. So yeah, just drop it in. You can reach us on the links, various contact places, which we'll put in the description below. So I'd like to say thanks again. My name is John Banks. I'm over at sideincommand.com, and I've been with
Andy Lehman. I'm the owner of freedomskillsacademy.com. And just thank you very much for listening again. Stay clear. That's all I can say. Stay away from anything that's got MLM or network marketing in the title, or you suspect it to be. And we'll look forward to seeing you in next week's podcast.
Thank you.